are in a talk about mischief, so I thought we would start with some fun. Has anyone played the game Never Have I Ever? Okay, some of you were 7th grade girls once at a sleepover. The way it goes is you hold up 5 fingers, you share in a group some scandalous thing you may or may not have done. If you have done it, you put down a finger. But instead of doing who's made out with their crushes, because now some of you are married to your crushes and that's far less intriguing, we are going to do the topic of totally normal things that should not be normal. Workplace edition. Okay, so go ahead and put up 5 fingers. If you have done one of these things, you put down a finger. Number 1, never have I ever made it to 4 p.m. without eating lunch because I was too busy working. Woken up and looked at email before the partner or animals lying next to me. Some of you are like, oh, this game's not going well. Yeah. Kept a good idea to myself because I wasn't sure how it would be received. Felt like I had to act or speak in a certain way at work to be taken seriously. Canceled or never scheduled a doctor's appointment because I was too busy. All right, maybe we have some people who are like, I'm out. Looked at my work and realized I wasn't actually doing anything bold or interesting. Said, is it only Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? You might call that Blur's Day. And finally chosen to be high-performing over happy. Is anyone out of fingers? You are so normal. You know that. We all know that. This is the state of work for so many of us. I'm still here many days fighting through this state of work. It's possible, though, to make improvements to it. Surely there are big strategic changes you can make. There are reorgs and new platforms to roll out and 4-day work weeks to adopt. But as many of you know, those things take kind of a lot of work. What if instead we could start having better days today? Because today is one of our finite days on the planet, and we deserve to enjoy it. So I offer you a tiny but powerful antidote to this state of work. And it's a little bit of fun. Specifically, what I call micro mischief. So this is not macro mischief like embezzlement. Some of you are like, my whole job is keeping mischief to a minimum. This is the cute kind of mischief. This is tiny acts of playful misbehavior, which is fun. And even if it were just fun, that would be plenty because you deserve that in your days. But it also can be so much more for our organizations and our cultures. Micro mischief can breed confidence. Think about what it takes to be mischievous. You have to be brave enough to subvert some norm and sort of risk being a little bit playful where maybe being playful isn't expected. It breeds humanity. Mischief at its core is getting to that very core, essential human belief that play is funny, caring, and can make for better days. It can breed connection. If you have ever planned a surprise birthday party with someone, you know that being in cahoots with someone else, scheming for the greater good, can actually be a really wonderful source of friendship. And finally, innovation. When we think about what innovation is at its core, it's trying something different than what the general industry is doing. It's subverting a norm, and at best, it is born from play and experimentation and joy. So if all of these things are things that we might want in our organizations, how do we go about getting them, like today? You all have on your seats, I'm going to pop off the stage for a second, a little card with my little smiley friend here with 3 blanks. What I'm going to ask you to do right now is to write down, and don't worry, I will help, write down 3 small acts of mischief that you can try in your workplaces starting tomorrow. But don't worry, you don't have to invent them all. I'm going to share some with you now. Feel free to steal any of mine or add a few of your own. All right, we're going to make this fun-sized, even though fun-sized candy is sad kind of candy. Everyone wants the big size. But nevertheless, you can keep umbrella picks on hand for your team's coffee and water. Could you imagine walking by a conference room, seeing everybody's mugs with a little umbrella? Like, don't you think you'd be like, how do I get on that team? That's the team I want to be a part of. Maybe you want to keep a bottle of rose water at your desk and spritz your colleagues in the afternoon. Jancy Dunn at the New York Times shared that idea with me. You might want to use Comic Sans in a presentation, see what designer you can make twitch. Start saying Happy Monday, Happy Tuesday, Happy Wednesday, Happy Thursday. You know, if you are alive and it is a day, it is a happy day. You could host a zipper-free day at the office. This is sweatpants, yoga pants, gym shorts. Because you are just as smart when you are wearing a zipper as when you are wearing your sweats. Maybe Jim Halpert style, you want to swap the coffee cups or the pens of colleagues and make someone go, oh my God, I know I put my coffee here. Number 7, take turns starting your meeting with your teenage music. Mine would definitely be No Scrubs. You could pick your own. A friend at Culture Amp shared that she did this recently. Send a love bubble to a colleague telling them something you appreciate about them. This is a little 2-line DM that says, you rocked that meeting. So good at getting everyone on the same page. Maybe you start a meeting learning everyone's pets' names. Now, when I was typing this up, I first wrote pet names by mistake, which is not as HR friendly, like sugar lips. You might ask, as the precursor to innovation, what's the most hilarious solve to our problem? Not the most strategic or practical or fastest, and see what emerges. You could work from a park with a colleague in a beverage, you know, get that badge swipe in and then head out for a few hours. Maybe add an Easter egg to your work. At Google, I would regularly see references to 90s video games snuck in to their work. Do one thing the slow way. Sometimes our bodies just need to know not everything is a rush, that we can slow down. And so maybe you bring in your French press to the office while everyone else is pushing the Nespresso button. Maybe you show up with wet hair, because maybe you exercise in the morning and you just don't have time to dry your hair before getting on a call. And you know what? Our brains work just as well as if our hair is wet or dry. And finally, schedule a disappearing meeting. Now, these are so fun. You can schedule it on a Friday. You call it a mandatory next action planning. And when everyone arrives, you say, hey, you're all here for your mandatory nap. Yes. Meeting canceled. Go take an hour, nap, walk, empty your dishwasher. The hour is yours. I would love now to give you just 30 seconds to write down a few of these that you think you could reasonably do. They are various levels of mischief. And as a bonus, I would love to take just a couple hands to hear from you what mischief either you have done that sort of rhyme with these, or an idea that has just come to you. So while people are writing, we'll take a few hands, and Aaron, is mic running?
Hi, I've regularly done 14 because most of my calls are now Zoom. And so I get up, work out, and get to the Zoom right on time. But my hair is always wet at 8, 7:30, 8:30.
Brava! I love it. Yes. We've got a few more. Yeah.
I've done 14 probably too many times, but I was running a firm-wide meeting, and so after we got through our business agenda, we went through our favorite, like, unhinged conspiracy theories, and people got to talk about and defend them, and then we voted for the most likely to be true.
Oh my God, amazing. I love that one. We'll take maybe one or two more. Yeah.
I've been part of a number of real estate and workplace projects where the facilities team has kind of disappeared a number of the chairs to force people to sit closer near each other with somebody else, making up an excuse where like, oops, we're replacing them.
I love that. That facilities team is like, we've got some plans for these people. Yeah, there's going to be a picnic blanket at some point when all the chairs are gone. All right, yeah, one more. That's great. Or, oh my gosh, so many. Two more.
Hi. We had a messy bathroom issue for some years, and so I secretly started a Lou haiku where people would anonymously write haikus in the bathroom and leave them up for our colleagues.
Oh my God, amazing. Lou haiku. Okay. All right, last one. Yeah.
For some of our projects requiring data entry, we'll use examples from Arrested Development as much as possible.
Oh my God, amazing. All right, thank you. These are so good. And what I love about them is that they are all acts of agency. They are acts of confidence in the value of our finite days on the planet, 5/7 of which we spend at work each week. They're acts of confidence in the value of building our cultures and organizations with things like connection and humanity and innovation at their core. And ultimately, in a world that's becoming ever more uncertain, where our day-to-day work is hard, in order to keep ourselves in the game and our people in the game, we have to remember that no one is going to give us joy. We have to take it. Thank you.